Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It's the 30th day of September, 2022. I hope that this day finds you safe and healthy. And the same, hopefully, could be said for your family. And that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met this morning. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and those first responders who every day are trying to save lives. And those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks, parks, highways clean. And those also that make deliveries of important things like food for our delivery, for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue and deliver the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Also those people who are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, sex slavery, human trafficking, and double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers who are peddling human flesh for profit. Finally, blessings upon those that are homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children in the United States without roofs over their head, and now numbers have been increased because of Hurricane Ian. And millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Yesterday, Tom Thibodeau, in the third day of camp, had an after practice media session. The thing I don't like about Tom Thibodeau's media sessions, I know this is going to sound strange, because I end up liking the dude after listening to him talk. Maybe it's my background. You know, I was raised with a coach that was very much like Tom Thibodeau, run us to death, make us work hard, didn't have much strategy. It was all about conditioning and being tough and playing defense and rebounding. And then from him, I learned and respected other coaches like that. And like U.B. Brown and other defensive coaches like Don Chaney, defensive players that were tough like that. Like back in the day, some of y'all remember Norm Van Leer and Jerry Sloan before he was coach of the Utah Jazz was part with Norm Van Leer and the Chicago Bulls, one of the toughest backcourts in NBA history. So I always appreciated toughness, defense, no nonsense. Guys, Thibodeau is such a one. The thing about him that I was reminded of yesterday, this is his team. And nobody gonna tell him how to run it. It reminds me of Jeff Hornacek. Jeff Hornacek, when he was coaching Phoenix, led them to a surprising 48 and 34 record. Surprising because they weren't supposed to be that good. And it was a guard-led team at that time. You had Isaiah Thomas before his injury, before his Boston days. You had Goran Dragic. You had some young guards that he used as the focal points and created an offense that was dynamic and that surprised the NBA. So when he came to the Knicks, I was excited because of what he had done in that regard in Phoenix. Very cerebral intellect as far as basketball IQ. He played like that too. Another tough dude, played for Utah, played for Philly, during his career. And tough, no nonsense, fundamentally sound basketball player. Come out of a small school, I think it was Iowa State or something like that, and really, made a niche in the NBA, and then started off, like I said, with Phoenix as a coach, and it was promising. But what happened? He got intimidated by Phil Jackson. He got intimidated and allowed Phil Jackson to control how he was running his team from the president's office. And I lost respect for him because of that. He could have really done well here if he had been his own man. If he had decided, listen, Phil, you're going to hire me. Let me do my job the way I do it. If you didn't like it, don't hire me. Well, that's Tom Thibodeau. And that's what made me respect a guy like Tom Thibodeau. He has a game plan. He knows what he's doing. I definitely don't agree with the way he does things all the time. Definitely don't. Okay, he has his pluses and his minuses. But I'd rather him than Jeff Hornacek or Derek Fisher or Rambis or Fizdale. At least he has a plan. He demands respect of his players. He makes sure you're in shape when you show up, and you better play some defense. Now, we know that he is an enabler of Julius Randle, and there has been a problem in the past, in the last 2 seasons with him and Julius Randle. I don't expect that to continue to be a problem this year because of the presence of Derrick Rose, who was here before, but it's different now. Derrick Rose explained his situation to us in his press conference. Aside from the most important statement to me that was made in the media at the camp this week, when he said, you got to be held accountable and you can't get in your feelings when people approach you about mistakes you made. Talking about Julius Randle, and everybody knew it. Aside from that, he said, Derrick Rose said, I didn't feel like I could say anything because I was hurt and I wasn't playing. That's just how he is. So he felt like if he wasn't contributing, on the floor, then he didn't need to really say anything about what he saw going wrong. But he also added that he's in the shape of his life right now at 195, implying, of course, that his voice will be heard, that if he sees Julius Randle messing up, he's going to let him know. That's problem one solved. Also, of course, with Jalen Brunson, who is another tough, no-nonsense guard, a coach on the floor, a winner, who won't put up with the Randle antics in terms of his mental flip-outs. And then, of course, there is now R.J. Barrett, who is the face of the franchise. And so these 3 players, along with Thibodeau, are going to help Randle, I feel, stay on the straight and narrow when he reels off the rails. And that will make Randle a better player on the court. Back to Thibodeau. He was asked about Obi and Randle playing together. And many people took it negative, as they do, because New York Knicks, the first taste in many people's mouth, got to be spitting out negative. But he said it didn't work, but he also admitted it was a limited sample size. And he also alluded to the fact that Obi's a young player that can get better. And because of that, he didn't completely turn away the concept of the Randle-Obi pairing. He may not play them 35 minutes, but I get the feeling he's going to try it again to see how it works. And so that was a good thing. Also, of course, he talked about Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes. He held Evan Fournier out of practice yesterday because he said Evan Fournier was a little nicked up and had come off the fever and was tired. And then, of course, we know about Grimes and the boot on his left foot because of soreness. He held him out also. He held both of them out of practice today. My understanding is that Cam Reddish wore the blue shirt in place of those 2 guys today, which is a good thing. So at this point, and he also mentioned Cam Reddish, saying that this is the first time Cam Reddish has a camp. You see, you might have been in camps before with other teams if you're a young player. But as a young player, if you're with Tom Thibodeau, this is your first year. Even though it's not a rookie, I don't think he'll be treated like a rookie. It's this first year because now Tom got him in his lab. And now Cam's got to show out in his lab. And as I mentioned yesterday, this is Cam's opportunity. There can't be no injury that's going to slow you down. There can't be no issue. You got to come out. You got to show that you're the man. You got to ball, period, end of story. And I believe that this is what, as I saw Thibodeau yesterday, and I got this impression. If you're going to beat Fournier, beat him. If you're marginal, he's going to stay with Fournier. If you're better than Fournier, if you could do a better job in the unit, the first unit, prove it. I like that. I like that. He's not handing the job to Grimes or to Cam. He's telling them, show me. Beat this man out and I'll give you the job. That's what he's doing. And if they don't come correct and do that, well, Fournier, he knows Fournier. He said Fournier ended the year well. He said he ended the year very well. He could shoot the ball. One of the best shooters in the NBA. And he is. Can't play defense to save his life. Thibodeau knows that. But this is the way Thibodeau, I realized yesterday, this is the way he is saying, oh, you want this job? Oh, you want to start? Show me how much better you are than the guy I got now. Show me how tough you are. Show me how you're a two-way player. Show me how you can shoot too. Show me. Tibs got Missouri on us. the show me state. He got Missouri on us. And that's a good thing. Because even though I don't agree with that, I don't. Because look at it this way. Jaden Ivey is a rookie. He's going to start in Detroit next to Cade Cunningham. Now, he's taking Killian Hayes' spot. He's taking Corey Joseph's spot. But he start. Why? Has he earned it? No. But his upside, his draft position, he is part of the hope of the future. Therefore, he's got to play. But see, that's a different coach. That's not Tom Thibodeau. Okay? That's not Tom Thibodeau. That's a different coach. So how he runs his game is different. Now, would I like Tom to employ a little bit of that? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? Me and you complaining about it, that ain't going to change it. That ain't going to change it. That ain't going to change what he does. That ain't going to change how he does it. That ain't going to change his mind. You know why? Because Tibs is his own man. He's his own dude. And you know what? I feel like we should respect that. You know, we should respect that. We should respect the fact that he is his own man. He's not going to allow you. You know, Dwayne Casey, he does things differently, right? So he's going to, Dwayne Casey, you're going to have Jaden Ivey playing over Alec Burks. Wait a minute. Did you hear what I said? This is the difference. Dwayne Casey going to have Jaden Ivey playing over Alec Burks. Would Tibs do that? Nope. But you know what? Been married to my wife this year will be 38 years. Have there been more beautiful women who crossed my path? Yes. But do I go after them? No, because despite that, I love my wife. She's mine. I'm hers. We've been together a long time. And I don't need to go nowhere else. They might be Monty McNuts out there. But that ain't my interest. Because I got what I need. That's the way I'm looking at Tibs now. See? Yes. I'd rather him do a little bit more Dwayne Casey. I'd rather him do a little bit more of that. But he's not going to. This is what we got. And I want my Knicks to win. At the end of the day. And I believe, and this is also what I got from him, which he reminded me of, which I knew already, but to hear him talk yesterday refreshed it in my mind. Thibodeau's a daggone basketball junkie. Y'all know that? The boy loves the game. He's married to the game. I don't know if he's gay. I don't know what his situation is as far as family or whatever. But he seemed to be married to basketball. Like, he seemed to be all in on basketball. And you know what? I like that. I like that. On top of it, we all know he's a defensive coach. So look, Fournier out there acting like a traffic cone. Okay. Tibs will put up with that for a minute. And then that's it. See? It's because he wants to win. And he wants to win now. The good thing about we all had, let me not speak for all. I hate when people do that because I don't want to do it. But a lot of us in Knicks Nation feel like he's holding back the young players, right? I just mentioned Jaden Ivey playing over Alec Burks, and we know Tibs wouldn't do that, right? But if you look at the roster, you really only have on the Knicks roster right now 3 legit vets. That's it, 3. See, you really only have Derrick Rose, Julius Randle, and Evan Fournier. Those are the legit vets that you have on your roster. That's it. The rest of them, Brunson's a vet, but he's 26. I mean, yeah, you can call him a vet, but I don't put him in there because he's going to be the starting point guard, and he should be. But my point I'm making is with RJ, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, Isaiah Hartenstein, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Deuce McBride. When he talks about when you have all of these players, you can't just play 3 players. You can, but they're going to break down. They won't be able to hang out in an 82-game season, 40 minutes a game. They're not going to do it. They can't. So by that, he has to turn to some others. Like, look, last year, what happened? You know, your veterans, either your Alpha Payton wasn't there no more, your Reggie Bullock wasn't there no more. Then Kemba Walker couldn't hang out for so long, and you had Evan Fournier. Then he turned to Alec Burks. He had also Nerlens Noel, who was also hurt. This year, you don't have any of them except Evan, right? So Evan Fournier, okay, we're going to see what you got. If you're giving up too many points out there on the perimeter, Tibs is going to put you out. Because one thing I know, Quentin Grimes ain't going to do that. If you put Quentin Grimes out there, he's going to lock somebody down. Period. Okay, he's going to lock somebody down. Because that's how good he is on defense. So at the end of the day, what am I saying? Tibs ain't got but so many tools of his vet mix to pull. Really, Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, that's it. You got Julius Randle. He still has Julius Randle, but I already mentioned. Julius Randle going to be held in check this year. I feel like it because of the three dudes I mentioned. Derrick Rose, Jalen Brunson, and R.J. Barrett. He's going to be held in check this year. His game is not going to be pushing laptops away and starting crap with the refs on the court. He's going to be checked for that this year. And so I feel like he'll be on his best behavior with grown men checking him. Okay? So you can expect to see your Obi Toppins, your Mitchell Robinsons, your Quentin Grimes, your Cam Reddishes. They're going to get a shot. They're going to get a shot because he only got but so many veterans to call on. Okay? He's limited in that regard. Even Jalen Brunson, gym rat that he is, he cannot play 40 minutes a game for 82 games. Can't do it. Okay, he's going to need a blow. He may hurt himself. Any of them might. So what am I saying? At the end of the day, our guys are going to see some time. All they got to do is stay in shape and stay ready. That's what they got to do. Stay in shape and stay ready. And one also encouraged me yesterday when they mentioned the point guards. Tibs, verbatim, I'm quoting him. He said, we are deep at that position. We have Jalen. We have Derrick, and we have Miles McBride, who has a bright future. That's what he said. He didn't even mention Emmanuel Quickly until they started talking about the bench unit, and he said the bench unit led by Quick. That's how he's thinking. Now, we may not like it, or we may like it. I like it. But brings me to another point. Isaiah Hartenstein is underrated signing. I mean, I think most of us in the nation know about it, but with him, Obi Toppin, Derrick Rose, and Emmanuel Quickly. And then if you add either Quentin Grimes or Fournier to that mix, or Cam Reddish, that's going to be a dynamic. That's probably, honestly, top 5 bench units in the NBA. And I'm being conservative when I say that. They're the top 5 bench unit in the NBA. What I like about it, though, is because you got Jalen Brunson starting this year, because you might have a Quentin Grimes, even if you have an Evan Fournier, and there's outside shot, you might see a Cam Reddish. Because of that, it's a better starting 5 than we had last year. It's a better starting 5. Okay. So with the starting 5 last year, if y'all recall, they would give up a lead and they would get a lead in the first quarter, give it up before the end of the first quarter or going into the second. Mobb Deep would come in, get us back the lead or get us close to the lead, take more in the third quarter, only for the first unit to give it back up in the fourth, right? We saw that a lot last year. Not this year. There's a stronger possibility of the first unit getting a lead and holding a lead. And there's a stronger possibility of the second unit taking a lead or extending a lead because they're that much better with Isaiah Hartenstein this year. Obi's going to be a better player. He already just is because he's just worked hard. He worked very hard. And with Hartenstein, this is going to be good, y'all. We're going to be good. I'm telling you. After, and I listened to Tibs a couple of times. I listened to the presser yesterday. And I listen to every word. I always do. And I try to get what he's saying and listen to what he's trying to communicate. Because communication is talking and listening. And unfortunately, again, a lot of people don't listen in this modern era in which we live. They don't listen. And they start drawing conclusions from half truth because they didn't listen. I listened to the man. I'm confident in what we got this year. I don't think, you see, people, and including myself, say, he's under a little pressure. He's under a little hot seat. I don't care what Leon Rose said. He's under a little hot seat because he has to start off strong this year. And if he starts off weak, all of us know he's going to get canned by the All-Star break, right? I think I'm speaking for a lot of Knicks Nation. But, what if he comes out the box hot? What if the Knicks start strong? What after 40 games, they like 25-15? What we talking about then? I'm going to leave y'all with that. Y'all have a good Friday. a good weekend. We'll talk to you on the other side. Shalom.